Hey everybody, this is a short little video on chapter 35, section 1, and we're going to take a look at Latin American democracy, and we're going to mention Brazil, Mexico, and Argentina. And if I go too fast through this, it's okay, just hit pause or go back. So Brazil got independence in about 1822, and Brazil started out as a monarchy. However, about 1930, military dictators started to rule. And in 1956, there was a president who was elected, and he tried to improve the economy. One of the big changes he did is he built the new capital city of Brazil, Brasilia, and he supported lots of land reform. And here's a photo of basically the National Congress in Brasilia being built. And Brasilia was unique because it was in the middle of the jungle, it wasn't on the coast. And his big push was to get people to move deeper inside Brazil. Now, here's another shot. Things weren't always smooth, and basically, the military had to step in to put down rebellions. And here's a picture of, you know, the military tanks, and the government was basically backed by the military sometimes, and sometimes there weren't elections. This is a good picture of the National Congress finished, and it's the seat of the legislative branch. A lot of modern architecture here, and it's an iconic section of Brazil. And you can't get more iconic than this, the statue of Christ the Redeemer in Rio de Janeiro. And people of Brazil like this, very religious. And if you take a look, here's Rio right near the sea, and in the mountain you have the statue of Christ the Redeemer. Mexico. Mexico is going to get their independence, and at one time there was going to be a institutional revolutionary party, or the PRI, that is going to control most of Mexico and win a lot of the elections. And the PRI sometimes has used force to stop anybody from rebelling against them. 1968, the government did massacre many people that took part in a demonstration for economic reform. And then a few years later, there was another government massacre. The PRI basically was running Mexico, and they didn't lose an election. In 1997, there were two other parties who won many seats in the national legislature, and they actually are going to end the PRI control in Mexico. And I'm I'm telling you, Mexico is a democracy, and they've had ups and downs with that democracy. Here's the symbol for the PRI in Mexico, and you notice the colors of Mexico are in the background. Now, here's one of the Mexican presidents, and this is before the PRI, but he lost his arm fighting in the revolution, and he had his suit tailored to show that, he was a true patriot for Mexican independence. Now, here's armored cars in 1968 putting down rebellions and revolution in Mexico. The government didn't mess around. They didn't want any opposition. Next, Argentina was another country in Latin America that has had some struggles. Juan Perón, popular dictator, and basically he does get overthrown, even though he was very popular. And the army's going to rule Argentina for a few years. In 1983, the Argentina generals, the Argentine military, had a war with Great Britain over the Falkland Islands, which they lost, and that's going to cause more political turmoil. Here's a picture of Juan Perón. He was a popular dictator. He ruled with the military. He tried many reforms. His wife, Eva, was also very popular. And here's a picture of her. And here she is doing social work, helping out the less fortunate people in Argentina. All right. So we are about good for that. And let me stop this.